favorite people. Joe. Okay, so this experience was in 2009, and I figured it out, what it was all about, around 2013. I just haven't posted the video yet or whatever, but yeah, so in 2013, because that's when I was listening to all of Karla Turner's videos, and I experienced everything she says. Anyway, so that's how I figure, when I thought back to 2009 after I listened to one of her videos, and she said that she doesn't really say how, the aliens do it or whatever. Well, they could do it in many ways. But, she said they can make you aroused for like a whole, like really highly aroused for like a whole month or a week or whatever. In my case, it was totally 1 week. It was not a month. But I can't remember how she says it exactly. It's in that one video that's like 2 hours and 20 minutes long. She says something about that. But she doesn't really go into detail, like how they make you aroused or whatever. But so yeah. So anyway, see, in 2009, I started having like pituitary problems. And but anyway, so in 2013, after I watched and listened to that video, that Karla Turner video, I thought back about that experience. And I think I even thought back about the experience even before 2013, and I was thinking, that it was probably because of my pituitary problem or whatever, but I'm not having any hormone problems. You could still, I know it's kind of weird, but it's called adrenal fatigue, but I'm not fatigued or anything. But the medical system doesn't acknowledge it. Those fuckwads. The mainstream medical system. But, because some people have screwed up adrenal glands, some people have screwed up thyroid, some people have screwed up pituitary gland. Mine's due to my pituitary gland, nothing else. But like I say, I just have a lot of hypoglycemia and stuff. But, yeah, so anyway, because I did think back about that experience, not long after that experience, like before 2013, before I knew the aliens were in my life, and I was just thinking, I wonder if it was from, that pituitary flare-up or whatever, where I almost passed out because I had reactive hypoglycemia, and I almost passed out because I had drank some liquor, and it fucked me up bad, because it gave me reactive hypoglycemia. Now I can't drink or eat any kind of chemicals. I just eat like 3 times a day, and I don't even like eating restaurant food either. I gotta learn how to cook better, but I just eat a lot of cheese and milk and meat and chicken and eggs. And I eat a lot of Amy's meals, but I need to learn how to cook myself. Amy's meals and like hamburgers with cheese, stuff like that. But I try, I can't drink sweet shit. I can't drink Coke or orange juice or anything like that. It's just makes me very, very dizzy. And that could give me reactive hypoglycemia too, just eating a bunch of sugar. So I don't eat sugar at all. The only snack I eat is the chocolate almond zone bars, but like I say, that's kind of a lot of carbs, you know, even though it has protein in it. So, if I eat that on an empty stomach, then yeah, it could kind of make me real dizzy not long afterwards. But, normally I'll eat it right after a meal, though. But yeah, so I don't really eat sugar or anything anymore. So anyway, okay, so I guess it was 2013 when I I listened to her video, and that's when I started thinking back, and it still may have took me a while to remember the other part that dawned on me, and that's when I knew it wasn't the pituitary problem that did that to me. And I don't have any hormones that are screwed up. The only thing I know of right now, which I think is really common among any woman, is like, I have low progesterone, but still I haven't been wanting to take it or anything. The natural doctor told me to take, that natural progesterone or whatever. But I just decided, I don't really feel the need to just be taking a bunch of shit, because I'm so sensitive to everything. So basically, I guess I'm estrogen dominant or whatever, but my estrogen really isn't high or anything. So anyway, I haven't even tried to take it yet. I might eventually, but not anytime soon. And that progesterone that's all like natural. It's like from yams or whatever. But I mean, it's common among women, my age or whatever, like low progesterone. That's pretty common, so I'm not, and I don't really have any symptoms or anything, I don't think, from having low progesterone or whatever. So I did actually buy it once, and then I returned it because it didn't have an expiration date on it. Well, I want to make sure it's not like expired and stuff, on Amazon or whatever. So, and it's that natural stuff, not from the doctor. It's like from yams, that natural stuff. But I haven't even started taking it, and I may not ever take it. I'm not sure. But because like I'm so sensitive to hypoglycemia, and any little chemical gives me hypoglycemia. So, caffeine, liquor, smelling chemicals and shit like that. That's why I take a mask everywhere I go now, because I can't stand smells. Okay, so anyway, and the aliens said they were making me into a cyborg, so maybe that's why they made my nose 50 million times more, sensitive than the average human, because, I can smell smells nobody else can, like, smell, and every little smell is so overwhelming to me. I don't know, it's really weird. Somehow it became real sensitive after I put vinegar in my ear. But, or it was just coincidental and the aliens had messed with me, at the same time that happened. Because I know they put some kind of weird implant in my left ear, and that's why I put the vinegar in my ear, because I looked on the internet, because I thought I had bubbles in my ear, and it said, oh, put 50% vinegar, 50% peroxide. Now, I did put some peroxide previous to that, and I did not have a reaction. 4 or 5 days later, when I mixed it with when I mixed peroxide and vinegar, I started to get real dizzy, and it gave me reactive hypoglycemia. And so I don't know. It somehow, like I say, I don't know. I can't remember. It wasn't long after that where it's like my nose is just a million times more sensitive. I'm like a dog, man. I could smell things a dog could smell. Yeah, so anyway, so now I just don't like any smell. I don't care what the fuck it is. Perfume, whatever, I don't like any smell. And most all smells are chemicals. Most are not natural. So, yeah, so anyway, I'm still trying to get over that. That was about 3 months ago. Middle of March, April, May. Yeah, that was almost 3 months ago. But I'm still trying to get over that, but I'm much better now. But anyway, so like, yeah, so basically, I watched that Karla Turner video, And I started thinking back in 2013, and what the deal was, okay, so what the deal was, it was, let's see, was it before, wait a minute, actually, yeah, it was actually, yeah, come to think of it, it was before that incident and before the flare-up. Not much, not long before, but it was before, because there was this person that I met, and yeah, so anyway, it was not long before that I almost, passed out and everything from the reactive hypoglycemia. Yeah, so it wasn't after that incident. This P.C.A.D, I think that's what it's really called. I didn't even look it up on the internet. I've seen that term before, but I think it's P.C.A.D, I'm not sure. But anyway, so, yeah, it was before that incident, before the flare-up when I almost passed out at that beer festival. And, yeah, because I had met that one person, and then, I went to bed or whatever, and then I woke up, and I had, persistent, this is kind of embarrassing, but I had persistent, clit arousal disorder, where it just constantly was just throbbing. And now this went on for 1 week. It was very, very strong for the first 3 or 4 days, and then it kind of started tapering off for 1 week. And I forgot what it's called, but it's some women, get it. I mean, it's kind of rare, but like I say, I only had it for 1 week, where you're just constantly throbbing and aroused. And it was just 24/7, for almost 1 week. Well, it was for, like I say, 24/7 for the first 3 or 4 days. And then it kind of started tapering off for 1 week. And, like I say, I think it's called P.C.A.D. I'm not sure. It's called persistent clit arousal disorder. And yeah, so anyway, it wasn't from the pituitary problem anyway, because this happened before, not long before, but at least, 2-3 months before I had drank the beer and almost passed out, and then I knew something was wrong with me after that. Yeah, okay, so anyway, so after listening to Karla Turner, I started thinking back in 2009, and I had to rack my brain, and at the time I was working 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. So this incident, when I went to bed, the incident would have happened, around 7, 8 in the morning, because I think I got up at least by 8 or 8:30. And, so anyway, I racked my brain, and this is what happened, and I know it was Joel, because like I say, he'd been giving me sex all my life. I mean, I can't remember too much when I was young, except for that one kind of sexual experience when I was 7, that one virtual reality experience. And I don't know if Joel gave me that one or not, but it's possible. But that would have been sexually appropriate for a 7-year-old. But that was, yeah, and when I was 7, that was kind of semi-sexual virtual reality experience under the altered state. I mentioned that in one of my videos. But, so anyway, so yeah, so I mean, he'd probably been giving me, sex all my life or whatever. But, so in 2009, okay, and like I say, I totally remember this, but it took a while for me to remember what happened. What happened was, and it would have been around August or September of 2009, because I think it was October was when I almost passed out, yeah. So a couple months before that incident where I was at the beer festival and I almost passed out because I drank, and I had also been dieting too, and I had drank liquor and it gave me reactive hypoglycemia. Okay, so anyway, what the deal was, and like I say, I totally remember this virtual reality experience under the altered state. And now I can't remember if he was just showing me all this stuff, this virtual reality stuff. I can't remember if I was actually walking around. I probably was. I mean, I'm sure I was. Back then I didn't pay attention. I didn't know it was the aliens giving me all these experiences. And, okay, so anyway, I know it was Joel because he's the one that always gets me off and gives me so many sexual experiences. Okay, so yeah, so in so I mean that morning or whatever, around September of 2009, he, and like I said, I totally remember this. He gave me this like just really sexual virtual reality experience under the altered state, and he still does stuff like that. He was just showing me all this sexual stuff, like live, live sexual stuff, just bam, 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 bam. I mean, it was a lot. It was a lot of sexual stuff that he was showing me under, the altered state when I was in bed, but it was all, virtual reality. But like I say, I can't remember if I actually was walking around in this scenario, watching it all, which I probably was. But like I say, because I wasn't, I didn't really pay attention back then. Because they could do it both ways. They could still just kind of show you all this stuff, and you're not actually necessarily in the experience walking around and stuff. But chances are I was actually in the experience walking around, where I was just seeing all this like sex, 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 sex. And it was a lot. I mean, it was a lot of sex. And so naturally, and of course he could have been, doing stuff ethereally, or I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think he was doing anything at my bedside ethereally or physically. But sometimes if they do all that to your mind and you see all that, it can still transfer over to the physical body, and then you're like all aroused and shit. Like when you wake up. He's done that many, many, many times. But this was the first time, it's been a while since he's done, no, it hasn't really been a while, just a few weeks ago, but this was in the deep dream state. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know what his deal is, he's not real active right now. I guess it's hard for him to break through to this dimension, but he has been giving me some dreams. And a lot of them were sexual. That was just a couple weeks ago or whatever, but he hasn't been giving me any out-of-body experiences or virtual reality experiences. Yeah, so anyway, this was the first time I ever actually had the persistent clit arousal disorder, where you're just like, horny 24/7, and you're just aroused 24/7. But like I said, it only lasted 1 week. Okay, but luckily at the time I had somebody to like think about and shit, because it was that one person that I was talking to and everything. So, at least I had somebody to like, think about or whatever. Because that one person I wasn't really dating anymore. So that was a good thing, you know what I'm saying? At least I had somebody to think arousal thoughts over or whatever, because I was so like horny and aroused. But I never did even. I only met that person once, and we never did really go out anymore or whatever. But yeah, people in Austin, they think their shit don't stink, man. It's a cool town, but, it's hot. It's kind of expensive to live there. So, I couldn't live there now. It's too damn hot. But, yeah, so like I said, this was the first time that, and like I said, Karla Turner mentions that, but she doesn't mention it quite like I do. She doesn't say how it's done exactly. But yeah, I had to like rack my brain, and I remember, that morning having a very, 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 very sexual virtual reality experience, and it was just like, a lot of sex, just sex, 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 sex. And they, they know what they're doing, because they like to arouse you and stuff, And, yeah, so anyway, that was actually the first time where, it lasted a long time like that in 2009. And now I do remember this other incident when I was 13, but that could have been hormones. I don't know. When I was on the bus going to junior high school, and I was like throbbing, and but like I said, that could have been hormones, but no, I wouldn't be surprised if that could have been alien tampering. But like I said, I think that could have been hormones, though. And, but yeah, so anyway, that was the only other incident I remember when I was 13. But like I say, that didn't last for 1 week, like it did in 2009. And, I can't remember if I had it some kind of sexual virtual reality experience or not back in when I was 13. But yeah, so but yeah, Karla Turner. I want to remember how she mentions it, but she just acts like um, the sexual tampering. She says something about that. Yeah, it could last, 1 week, 1 month, something like that. And of course, she just mentions it like, that person will like jack off a lot or masturbate a lot or whatever. She mentions it like that, but yeah. So and I know it was Joel because he's the one that's always giving me so much sex and stuff. But he hasn't well, actually he has, but it was just in the deep dream state, and that was just a couple weeks ago. But he hasn't given me any out-of-body experiences or virtual reality experiences in a while. He must not be very close to this dimension right now. So he can only give me like in the deep dream state. So yeah, so that was my persistent clit arousal disorder in 2009. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool to feel horny like that all the time. I mean, yeah, that may be kind of like bothersome if you had to be like that for many, many, many months at a time or something. Which I guess I don't know if some people really have it like that or not, because I think it's kind of rare. But yeah, and then it kind of makes you wonder. Well, that other person, I think I saw it on YouTube or something. I think she was in her 20s or whatever. But yeah, it makes you wonder, But according to her, I think she was just having it like constantly, like for more than 1 week. But yeah, it still makes you wonder, could the aliens have made her like that? You know what I mean? And I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's called, persistent. But it's close, I think. Yeah, so anyway, that's my story in 2009. And like I say, at first I thought it was the pituitary problem. And like I say, now that I think about it, this experience was 2 months prior to that flare-up, when I knew, something was wrong with me. And yeah, so anyway, I had this other, it was kind of significant virtual reality experience, or like I say, maybe it really was real, so to speak. But that was in 2007. But I can put that in a separate video. But it was kind of significant because after I woke up, it really bothered me, and that's when I knew, like I knew something was messing with me, I just didn't know what it was, but I knew something was like messing with me, and it like really bothered me. And after my friend at the time, after she went to work, I stayed in the house, till 11 o'clock in the morning or noon or something like that, and I was just kind of creeped out by that experience. But yeah, I can talk about that on a separate video. But yeah, if you know of any cases like that where you felt that way, it's probably alien tampering, because most people, they don't really pay attention. I mean, so many people, have so many problems, but they don't, know what it stems from or whatever, when it probably stems from aliens or whatever, lots of times, but they're never going to become aware of it. Okay, well, anyway, thanks for listening. Bye.